Hello, hello. It's already May the 21st. Time has flown by in part because I'm sick. I was sick. I am sick. You'll probably notice this from my voice. And the fact that I'm sounding very nasal. I'm very congested still. And on top of that, we've got allergies going because it is getting warm again after I believe 2 weeks of it being very cold. So it was well, not the most pleasant time for me, but I've done quite a bit of knitting and I don't even know where to begin. We're gonna start with the banana socks for my daughter. You've seen number 1 already, and number 2 is getting there. I am this far. The greens just started, so it's from here to here. And that's what I have left to knit on. And yeah, we'll get there. It is a technically relatively quick knit, but it takes time. It's technically a relatively quick knit, but I need to be in the mood for that and not for anything else. And in a way, the other things are a little more entertaining right now. So there's that. Then I finally turned the heel on the Spousal socks. So now I have to pick up the stitches for the gusset and all that stuff. And I don't know if I want to do this on these needles, frankly, because they are, well, these are big socks, as you can tell from the gusset part alone, right here. And the needles are not very long. So, yeah, this is where the tips are. So, yeah, we'll see. Then I've been working on the Super Sock World Championship qualifier. Sheesh, I'm sorry. The Super Sock World Championship is a sock knitting challenge competition, however you want to call it. That starts right towards the end or around the end of Sock Madness, if you've maybe heard of that. And the idea behind it is that you get, well, usually you are a part of a team, and within that team you are trying to get as many points as possible for your team, within your team. And then there is each round has multiple lanes that you can take. So the lanes basically are different mystery sock patterns that you don't see beforehand, and then you have to pick based off what they give you. The patterns are all released and submitted, published to the participants at the same time. And this year the qualifier started on the 19th? Yes, on the 19th, on Tuesday. And we had 3 patterns. The specs came out, so the specs in terms of what you need for the pattern came out beforehand. And on the 19th, in the around the morning-ish, I think, US time, it came out, the patterns came out, and there was one pattern that is a lace plus beads, one pattern that is colorwork plus beads, and one pattern that is lace plus cables. They're just 2/1, 1/1 cables, so not super tricky, but cables. And therefore, I was a little torn on what I wanted to pick and choose, but in the end, I cast on 2 of the patterns and then decided to do actually do one of the patterns, just because I felt like it might be fun. And that pattern is the Murette Socks. So Murette is French. I guess it means wall or something like that. I haven't looked it up. And my French with that regard is a little iffy. But they are the colorwork socks with a couple beads. A total of 48 beads over the 2 socks. And I am there you go. So on top here you can see some flowers and flower pots, and there's some, basically some dirt right here. And then you knit a foot. As you can see, I am fairly far along, I guess. And then there's another colorwork section before the toe, and then the toe is in a contrast color. So, that is where we're at. This is all I've knit so far. I say all. It's the 21st. It's been 2 days. But I'm pretty sure there's people who are already done already. So, I'm this far. I think they're super cute. They definitely need blocking, and I'm hoping for the best. There were quite some long strands in here, but I think it's fine. I think my one complaint would probably be that the errata came out after I started knitting, like way after, a day after I started knitting, and within that day I was already down here. And then it was like, well, do we have to rip back to fix the stuff up here? Because that would be kind of annoying, because a day of knitting. Yeah, so that's where we're at. This is a very potato chippy colorwork pattern, so there is that. And then, yeah, I'll probably do the colorwork later today. And, the other two things I've been working on is number one, maybe I should open this up first. Number one, for my imagination quilt, because the one shirt I'm working on had to dry. For the imagination quilt, I crocheted. I crocheted some squares, and I don't know all of which here I crocheted, but there's like, that's 16. So technically this square here, that's why it's on the baggie, this square is done. I opted for the baggie storage solution like Natalie of Knitty Natty Love and Stitches, because I feel like this is actually the way I can keep those squares apart, because I was kind of getting lost and confused as to what I've already done, what I still needed to do, because I initially started working my way through the advent list. Because I started it when I opened the advent first, and then I switched to like, oh, let me finish some squares to figure out how to get the actual quilt block together, and then I'm all confused now. So we've got the baggie solution here. And then I also did these three natural ones yesterday, thinking I would need them for quilt block number 6, 5, 6, something like that. And then I found out that no, I didn't. I already made those. Womp womp. But I've got them. They'll probably go somewhere else. I'll have to check though. But yeah, there is that. And then, of course, my Tori U Avenue tank in the gradient. It is growing. Will you come down here? Come on. There we go. It's growing. I'm starting to get towards the dark brown. And it's really cool, and it still does not show up as drastic with the color difference up here and here, but it is what it is, I guess. So I totally love this. I can't wait to wear this. I think I stopped knitting on this yesterday evening because I want to put in a lifeline, or at least a little one of those silicone cords to try it on, because I know I'm not there yet. Like, this is the armhole. I know I'm not there yet to where I can start the ribbing, but I at least wanted to get an idea as to where I'm at. So that is the plan, and maybe I'll do this next before I go and wash my hair to get all the pollen out, because I was outside today and it was yeah, no bueno. It's very, very yellow outside. If I look out, there's like a yellow coating on everything. It's disgusting. So, that is where we're at with my knitting for the week, and why I was not really working on my diary, because like I can barely breathe. I'm already feeling it again, and yeah, we've got to fix this. So that is my update for my knitting for the last little bit, and I'll see if I can be back again tomorrow. See you then. Bye. Alright, I have to stay back here, otherwise the lighting is going to be all wonky because the sun is coming in. It is insanely warm. It is really warm. But I am wearing my Avenue Tan by Tori coming out in, I think, 3-ish weeks. Today is May the 23rd. Did I just say that? Oh Lord. I feel like I'm already a mess. But it's so warm, and it was so cold, and it's now so warm that everything is just very strange. Yeah, I don't function anymore. It's later in the day, and it's been an adventure already. I finished yesterday, and then today I wove in the end the banana socks for my daughter. They are funny and fun. They're a fun knit, and she loves them. She's really thrilled about having them. So these, now that I've shown them, will go in her wardrobe, and she'll be a happy camper, I'm pretty sure. So we've got that. And then I picked up, just briefly, because everything, so okay, let's go back. I decided to wash and block yesterday evening already the Avenue Tan, the olive version that I'm wearing right now, and also the gradient version that I didn't know how that fabric was going to work, because while this one here is on the stiffer side, the yarn for the gradient cake was much softer. And I was worrying of how that was going to block out when there's all that weight attached to it. So I wanted to block it before I started anything about the ribbing. Thinking about the ribbing. And now that it's getting warm again, it finally felt like this would be a good time. So that is sitting right out there. I can still see it right now. This dried a bit faster. But yeah, the other one needs like 5 more minutes, I would guesstimate. So we've done that. I've also woven in ends on my trestle tee by Tiff Nealon, which needed ends woven in, and I blocked it again. So that is laying out there also. Then I wove in ends on my Sheila blouse by Poison Girls. That I'm not going to block again because the fit is just fine as is, and I don't think, I've blocked it beforehand, so I don't think I need to block it again, unless I end up wearing it and I need to wash it, because it needs a wash, basically. But yeah, it's been a day of weaving in ends and blocking, and the only thing I picked up a tiny little bit were the Spousal socks today. We're on the gusset. They're a pain, but we're on the gusset. I'm knitting, the yarn is a Trekking XXL, I believe. I forget again. I already forgot what it was. No, this is not the Trekking XXL. This is some other yarn. I forget what the yarn is. I'm sorry, but anyway, it's this wonderful gray situation. Maybe a bit boring in terms of knitting, but Spousal socks, you know. I am knitting these on the Flexi Flips by Adi, and the needles are 2.0 mil or US zeros, which is smaller than my usual sock needles, but will make do, because those were the only needles they had at the yarn store when I was on vacation, and when the Spousal socks got picked up, and I needed needles for the socks because I only had the socks for Sock Madness. So, gusset it is, and it's gonna take a while because press 1, 0 zeros. I miss my US ones, but I started them on US 0, so I can't just switch in the middle. And the other thing I have here that I can show you that is not currently drying or anything, that had any progress or gotten worked on, is I should say, sock number 1 for Super Sock World Championship. Sock number 1 is finished. I opted for lane, I think it's lane number 3, the Murette Socks, by a French designer whose name I forgot, Valerie, I presume. These are really pretty. My color work up here is a little wonky. I need to block these clearly, but they will do. No ends have been woven, and I haven't even tried these on yet. For the most part, the socks based off the specs as given for Super Sock World Championship and Sock Madness work for me, for my foot size. The only thing that can happen is that they're maybe a little iffy in terms of the the heel circumference, but I think this being just the heel flap and gusset should be fine. And these will be definitely couch socks anyway, because there's beads at the top. And we've got, there goes the spousal sock. Yeah, so we've got, there it goes again. I'm gonna sit over here. So there is that, but I think they're really cute. They were fun to knit up, and I don't know if you probably can't see the. There you can see the beads. So that being said, I'm going to give you a brief rundown of my Avenue tank by Tori that I'm wearing right now. I knit this on US 3s for the most part, US 1s for the ribbing, and I knit size number 4. I am a 41-inch bust technically, and a 45-6 hip circumference, like widest part of my butt. So that being said, I knit size number 4, and I think this fits quite well. I knit this with 200 grams of fingering, like heavy fingering weight yarn. And this is a 100% cotton base that I got at Selfmade, which is a store that sells fabric and yarn and, you know, crafting supplies in essence. It was really fun, and this entire garment, this entire tank cost me €8? $8-ish? Somewhere around there. So it was really, really, really affordable, and the way it's washed so far, I really like it. It's wonderful. It feels nice. It's not too warm, and I think the fit is, I mean, it's Tori pattern, so obviously the fit was going to be great, but yeah, the fit is just awesome, and I love it, and that is why I have a second one in the process of being knit. And after blocking, I would say I need about this much more to go. I have this much more to knit before I'm done with it. So what's that, 2-ish inches, 2.5 inches before it's done. So I'm really excited to be adding these two to my wardrobe. We have a rapid increase in temperature here at the moment, so it went from actually freezing temperatures at night and around freezing in the mornings to now the day temperatures are going to be in the 90s, which is disgusting. Like, it shouldn't be, there should be some kind of transition phase in my opinion, and it wasn't. So looking at my stack of spring and summer knits that I have over there, I'm glad I'll have this one and the other one, because right now there's like 3 that are wool only, that are like sock yarns, and then there's one that is a wool cotton blend. Out there is the Trestlety is a wool cotton blend. So yeah, like, it feels like I need to knit up a couple more things with more summery fibers. Oh well, we'll figure it out. I don't think I've knit a whole, well, I mean, I've knit on my Second Avenue tan quite a bit, which is why I needed to block this like now before it's really too late. Otherwise, I finished the banana socks yesterday. I finished the first sock for Super Sock World Championship for the qualifying round, and sock 2 is going to get cast on probably later today. And yeah, those are basically like the things I've been knitting on this week. It's been kind of slow going with just the Avenue tag and the socks. And I feel like I'm itching for something else to cast on and work on, because other than the Avenue tag and the Spousal socks, I have nothing left on the needles that is plain stockinette for those chill evenings when you want to just knit along while watching something or while talking to friends. And I might have to fix that, frankly. So that is probably going to be my goal for either later today or tomorrow. Maybe today I'll figure it out and tomorrow I'll cast on. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Until next time.